قال الله لا Yahweh Hashem Yoshaiba Hashem Kakudash Balanas to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule and teach well. Peace and salutations to the brothers on the four corners of this earth, pushing this will in truth, also in sincerity, and brother Manatizak. So Shalom, this will be an impromptu video, usually the headline caught me, right? Because as you can see here, this is clearly prophecy in progress once again. So you could just do an impromptu, read through the articles, bring up whatever precepts come to mind. Really spread a little bit, should be short and straight to the point. It says, ministers say digital ID card will help deter migrants from heading to UK. The fear of illegal immigrants is being used as an excuse to push the digital IDs and expand the use of facial recognition surveillance. Ministers are working on plans to introduce ID cards, but they say they will be only for immigrants. UK and Irish citizens will not have to carry one yet. Former Labour Minister Harriet Harman says the government should introduce digital identity cards to deter migrants coming to the UK illegally. So has uncontrolled immigration been the manufactured problem for which digital ID was always the manufactured solution? Sky News reports Baroness Harman told Beth Rigby on the Electrical Dysfunction podcast, one of the country's pull factors is the fact that people arriving on small boats can easily work illegally. She said having digital ID cards would make it even more difficult for people to work illegally. The Labour peer, who was a minister under Sir Tony Blair and interim party leader in 2015, said she does not see ID cards as a way of stopping people doing things. Although she said it is important to stop people working illegally, it could also be used to check people's eligibility to vote, so they do not have to go through the difficulties of registering to vote, she said. She admitted her view on ID cards may be seen as politically incorrect, with the issue dividing Labour MPs. However, Sir Tony has been a long-time supporter of more than 40 Labour MPs from three groups on Tuesday urged ministers to introduce digital IDs to help control the migration system and improve public services. I think now the digital situation and people have so much digital ID. It depends on whether or not you think the state is going to actually overstep the mark and oppress people, Baroness Harman said. But I think there are things that the government has to do that people want them to do, which digital ID will enable them to do. So basically, it was just a little discourse of the UK really being, whether they being for or against the digital ID, and the article stating here is that what is saying what is saying in the UK is that the digital ID would help the illegal immigration problem. Because if you're getting like in Trinidad right now, the Venezuelans are here, in large numbers. And what the citizens here view as an issue is that because it's migrant labor, they could work for cheaper, or they will work for cheaper than a local. You understand? And what a businessman go do, he will always take cheaper labor. You understand? Whereas he had to pay a man, substantially more because he is a legal citizen or whatever the case may be. Just work the illegal to the bone until they get sent home or court or whatever. Either way, you will get done. So I can understand where they're coming from with them using the digital ID as a form of curbing the illegal immigration or the illegal workforce then, due to illegal immigration. Right? Let me get precept here. Where we going? Now we all know that the digital immigration is the precursor or one of the precursors to the M.O.T.B. You know what I mean? This will be in place with the digitalization, with the digitalized system, right? The 50-minute cities, you know what I mean? Which will, you know what I mean, then usher in the M.O.T.B. You understand? The UBI is also a precursor to the M.O.T.B. All these things, right? So what they're saying here now, all these that digital ID could be basically it could help the government do what they have to do. Keep track of citizens, whatever. Even though she did admit they might overstep and oppress the people, right? She did say that. That is one of the fears, but it will allow the government to do what they have to do. Okay, cool. Right? Um, Muga precept here. If this is no. You know what? I'm gonna go with that oldie but a goodie. Alright. It said, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Right? Because prescribing to this system, or prescribing to the digital ID rather, you know what I mean, everything that comes along with it is the precursor to you subscribing to the M.O.T.B. Because Schwab say if you don't get with the digitalization of society, you'll be left behind. The digital ID, the 50-minute cities, the UBI, all these things, you'll be what left out of society. You understand? You'll be a manufactured bum or a pilgrim or a vagabond or a vegan, however you want to put it. You understand? They'll make you that because why you don't have a digital ID. So you would, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to do things that a regular citizen would be able to do, or somebody that holds a digital ID would be able to do. And realizing the article, they say was the immigration problem manufactured with the digital ID being the manufactured solution, right? Part of the elite agenda, you know what I mean? Or through chaos. Look at just for instance, look at the Biden allowed the illegal immigrants in, and now Trump want to clean it up. You understand with the ICE officers and so on and so forth. It's only a matter of time before you say, you know, this digital ID thing will actually help, and you know what I mean, safeguard the officers from violence from violence from illegal immigrants and so on, and all these things you go use as an excuse. The same way the UK using it as an excuse to using the workforce or the labor force rather as an excuse, you know what I mean, the illegal labor force as an excuse, right? Revelation 12 and 12. Say therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. Yeah, he knew he have a short time, so now we making now we you know what I mean. Well, not now, what from years past to now. You know what I mean? Recent years past to now, he speeding up the timeline for your agenda, right? Things they say that will happen in 2030, right? They could happen this year. You know what I mean? With the proper planning and the proper infrastructure being put in place. You know what I mean? Ahead of time. You know what I mean? They already have everything done put on. It's just to release to the public, you know, just to make shit mandatory, but ways to make it mandatory. Like, for instance, a problem with illegal immigration, digital ID would solve that, right? All these things. So, you know, we can see, they will use it as an excuse to implement it. There's just another way, you know what I mean, to speed up the agenda, right? To usher in the M.O.T.B. That is all it is. It's just another way to the M.O.T.B. You know what I mean? Fuck out. Alright, let me see if I could get one more precept here. Let me see if I could get one more. Let me go to the Apocrypha and see if there's some second Esdras. Second Esdras, is it 15 or 16? Mm. Yeah, it is. Second Esdras 15 and 14. It says, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draw it nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. You understand? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. You understand? So yeah. So let me say you is an illegal immigrant. Or is an immigrant, right? And let me say something come up, you do a shortcut somewhere, whatever the case may be, but you're working honestly. You know what I mean? You bring your family over, whatever. Like even these will in Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? Some of them, alright, they come over illegally. You know what I mean? Oh fuck that. Some of them come over illegally. You know? But they working little menial jobs, they trying to take care of the family, so on so on, whatever they're doing. And you know what I mean? Jake wicked, so of course we had the bad ones. Of course we had the criminals and whatever, so on so forth. We're making no excuse for that, right? But nevertheless, this could cause them to rebel. You understand? To kick up even more of an uproar. You know what I mean? Because when they know, hey, if I do get this, you know what I mean? Or when I get this, they go realize I is not a citizen of the country for sure, right? Because I had to get this to survive in this country. And if I do get it, then I will be, what the fuck, I got to flee to the next country. And when the whole world becomes, you know what I mean, digital, which it would, you know what I mean? Which it would, where will I go? So this has the potential to what? Cause a sedition among men. Sedition is when men decide to overthrow the government. You know what I mean? Run like what they do when they run in the White House. That could be considered sedition, right? Scripture say, well, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able here because he has no ID. He don't prescribe to the digital system. So you can't enter here because we don't recognize you. You know this kind of it. All these things will come from it. Rebellion, civil wars, and so on and so forth. All these things is just another avenue we could go down. You know. So with that, I hope it was informative. Through the spirit and power of your Bashim Yoshai Bashim Kakodash. Until next time, Shalom.